alive in our 80s and living on this rice field, right? And we're there, my dad's there, and he hasn't been there since he was like 5, and he was like emotional about the trees he remembered climbing. My great aunt or grandmother was like, she's like 80 something, super strong. They're living on rice fields in like bamboo huts, right? They're called baja kubus, and no electricity, no running water, and a very simple life, right? But then it occurs to you like, it's amazing. Like in 2 generations, the difference between, my grandfather being from this little village on this little rice field and me making movies and television in Hollywood it would be my grandson walking on the moon. Like that's how far away it is, right? And so this very emotional, cathartic experience happened, but also because you get accepted by your home country and you have this really good feeling about being Filipino, but then at the same time, which is great, and then at the same time you realize, but you're actually American. And it actually, in a weird way, strengthens who we are as Americans too, like a nation of people that someone in their family did something utterly great. And that's why we're all in America. And I think sometimes we forget that. And that's what the documentary is about,
Oh, that's really good. Is it available to
Not yet. You can see, we ended up selling it to the Filipino network, so it's like on some Filipino station, but we still have footage. I might recut it. It's just so much work to do documentary filmmaking. I don't think I'll ever do it again. But I had a great time.
That's good.
Questions?
No questions.
No questions? What you want to know about? What?
Can you beatbox?
No, it's okay. Luigi, what's up, man?
Hi there. I'm sorry I came a little late, so I'm sorry if someone already asked a question.
It's okay.
But just, obviously with the success of things like, The Last Airbender, and then you obviously being referenced or your character and Homestuck and all, how's your response been to, the fan outpour with these recent things?
It's been cool, The thing about it is with fans, for me it's been ironic. It's just a different thing because I've been around a long time, right? And like I said earlier, like I've been an actor for like 30 years, which is crazy, which is probably older than you.
It is.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I've been around to see like all these new all the new kid like actors and celebrities, they look at us as like traditional media, old school media kind of cats. And I'm kind of lucky because I'm this gap generation between a whole different way of making films and how they're making films now. And I have a lot of friends that are like big YouTube stars and big new media stars, and I have a lot of friends that we're from the old Hollywood system, And so it's been really interesting your question directly towards like the fan interaction is because, I got to LA in the 80s. And so coming up 80s, 90s, 2000s, the whole idea of being a celebrity is different than what it is now, right? So when we were young, being famous was being exclusive. Exclusivity was really big. So you think about the 80s and 90s, the biggest stars on the planet were Michael Jackson, Madonna, who are literally untouchable. You couldn't get to them ever, right? But it trickled down, that's the way it was. Like we couldn't work with anybody, like filmmakers wanted to work with you or fans wanted to get in touch with you. It's like, you gotta go through the agents and the managers and the lawyers and our publicists, and then you can write a letter that kind of goes to this mail, but by the time a fan actually wrote you a fan letter, you get back to fan letters, but it'd be like, they wrote it 2-3 months ago, you know what I'm saying? And you don't even, like, I'm never gonna answer that fan note, like, you might answer like 2 or 3 of them, or if some, I don't know, It was like one of those things where you're just not engaged with the fan base. And now with the oncoming of social media, it's like this interaction has become way different. And for a lot of us that come from the old system, it takes us a while. It's like it's really weird. Like what you're telling me I could just talk to these people? Like, yeah, like no one's vetting what I'm saying, or you know what I'm saying? There's like all the, and people mess up, obviously. A lot of celebrities mess up with what they're doing, but you just kind of treat it like, I don't know, cool friendship. I always think of it as like an ongoing conversation. It's weird because, you know, like I'm a big Tumblr person because I love Twitter also, but like if I'm gonna answer questions, I want to just answer the question and not worry about doing it in 140 characters. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, so I answer a lot of questions on Tumblr, but like my ask box is like I think 27,000 deep right now. It's like, how are you gonna answer? There's no way you can answer all those questions.
Yeah.
You just do the best you can. Like I'll just be night blogging in the middle of the night and answer like 10, 20 questions. But so it's all on how you deal with it. I mean, the fans have been super, super cool to me. But at the same token, I came into the whole internet game with like, I don't know. Because I have a lot of YouTube friends that kind of pushed me into it. This kid named Kev Jumba and this kid, AJ Raphael. They're the ones a few years ago like, you gotta be online, Dante, right? And I'm like, what? And then we're at a bar. I don't even think Kev's old enough to be in this bar. I don't know if you know Kev Jumba. He's like a big YouTube star.
How old is Kev?
Now he is, man. At that time,
Okay.
he was like 20. I was like, and he's like, Dante, you gotta be online. And I'm like, man, I ain't online. I was like, that's you guys, I ain't online. And then literally he looked at me and said, Dante, Google yourself. You're online. And if you're not, taking advantage of what this is and really understanding where the world's going, then you're gonna miss out. And they really, kind of mentored me in that way on the digital side, and so when I got into it, where I got started engaging with fans, especially on Tumblr, I just really came from the mindset of like, hey you guys, what's up? I'm Dante, and I don't really know how this works, but whatever. Like, thanks you guys for digging whatever. I really follow the fan base. You know what I'm saying? I wrote a poem about it. There's a poem on my YouTube that I wrote. I don't even know how it goes exactly. It's like a poem to my followers and fans, and it's about kind of explaining to the fans like, don't ever forget, like the most important parts of the poem is, one is, you're following me or whatever, like my followers on whatever, but actually I'm following you. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm being led by you guys. Like this is not really my space, this is the new generation space. And I'm a part of it. So I'm actually kind of following, all the stuff I've been doing online is really been following the fan bases and teaching me certain things. So like that's been my attitude. But then also, the other important thing, the poem that I wanted to explain to people is when it has to do with celebrities and people you look up to, like don't forget that we're just a reflection of you. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we're higher than you, or, even celebrities get twisted and stuff, but what you realize is you only like people because they're a reflection of what you like in yourself, or what you want to be in yourself. So it's really, that's all it is. Like, I'm a reflection of you, so I'm not above you or anything. We're each other. It's all good, And that's kind of like what the poem's about. I probably said it more eloquently than that in the poem. But I write poetry, so I love poems. Questions? Yeah, go ahead.
Would you come back next year if you were given the opportunity?
Possibly, yeah. I had a good time in Phoenix, man. It's good. Oh, Mesa, where we at?
Mesa, right?
I got family out here, so, if time permits, and
Next week out here?
Yeah, I had like dinner with my family. I guess they're in a place called Goodyear.
No, that's actually really far west.
Okay, whatever. They came have dinner with me at the Tempe Marketplace. And so, but it's cool. I think, it was Phoenix is, or wherever we are, Arizona, AZ, it's cool.
Yeah. No beer bottle fights this time?
No beer bottle fights this time. I've kind of calmed down.
There's still time.
Just hanging out with random girls at the pool.
Love it.
I know, because, I'm trying to stay out of trouble.
Oh.
We were doing this hookah. I was smoking hookah last night in Scottsdale. Scottsdale hookah. Oasis. Yes. I knew I had it in my mind somewhere. And that was cool. Cool hookah smoker. What do you guys want? Anything? What do you guys want to know?
What flavor did you have?
We had a few different flavors.
Like all mixed together?
Yeah, like, I don't know. The girls were like picking all kinds of weird flavor. Had mint, for sure. One of them. Like raspberry mint. They were just making stuff. Like, one of them was like pumpkin pie mint. I was like, what the?
Did it flow nice?
I don't know.
Was it kind of like,
I don't know. Then they were like friends and some fans, and then they wanted to do like a shot. They were like, we're with Zuko, we gotta do a shot of Fireball.
Smoke many.
I was like, no. I was like, well, I guess we have to.
If we must.
It's one of those things, like, that's the one weird thing, is like, people always want to do shots of Fireball with me. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Which is cool.
Do you actually enjoy Fireball?
I mean, I'm not a big whiskey drinker, but I can do Fireball.
Cool.
I spoke at a college in Portland, and we were like, you know, I speak at colleges too. I talk to the youth. Really, I didn't go to college, so I get a kick out of going and speaking at colleges. Just, I guess I give them a different perspective on life. But anyway, like after at Portland College, Portland State, they were like, let's go to the bar. And I'm like, I don't know if I should be going to the bar. I don't know if I should be going to the bar with students. You know what I'm saying? Because like your school's paying me to be here and teach you. I don't know if we should be partying together.
Then when you go to the bar, you have to teach them how to
Right.
go to the bar.
But then the girls, like somebody was like, we're not students, we're whatever. They're like something else, like TAs or some other different grade of student.
Oh, okay, so like
Graduate students?
Yeah, graduate students.
Yeah, they're like, we're adults. I'm like, well, let's go to the bar.
Oh, well, that's the case.
Right. So then we go to this one bar, but then it ended up being like a gang of people, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then we go to some crazy bars, like 18 of us. And then we go to the bar, and of course, like, they're pointing me out. They're like, we're not going to this bar because it's 2-pack. I'm like, well, we have.
You have Dante.
Yes. And they're like, well, then all 18 you can come in the bar. So then we go into the bar, and then I wind up on the bar, on top of the bar. Right? It's like, I don't know if this is part of the deal of us getting into the club, but I wind up on top of the bar with, I don't know, I was just by myself. They put me on top of the bar. I guess the owner was like standing on the bottom, and they stopped the music.
Did they make you crow or something?
I think something happened. Fireball came out, and then we all did shots of Fireball, and they played Bangarang. And yeah, that happens every now and then.
Do you
It's
actually
weird.
get a lot of people like shouting Rufio
Yeah,
across the way all the time?
Probably
or
like
crowing just naturally?
a lot. I mean, probably like I don't really think about it too much because you just don't think about it anymore. Because if you think about it, I was like, I mean, Rufio was like 21 years ago, something like that. And I was like, I've been Rufio longer than I guess I haven't in a way.
I guess that's true.
So it's like walking around. A lot of times people just will say it, or like someone will just be like Rufio, or like will be like Bangarang, or like people trying like Rufio, but they don't think it's really me. You know what I'm saying? They just think, oh, this dude looks like Rufio. I'm like, Rufio!
Like,
And then I'll be
whole
like,
experience with Justin Bieber.
Bangarang. Yeah.
So I think yesterday, I think it was yesterday, that he was talking about he went to a bar and,
No, it wasn't a bar, it was just a mall.
oh, the mall, okay.
Yeah,
And, like,
no, it's a place called the Grove in LA, and we were like coming at dinner, me and my girl, and I was like, dude, look at this guy. I was like, just want to be Justin Bieber, dude. Like this, like white dude, like hat on backwards, like walking down this way, and he looked like he like super on some Justin Bieber swag. And then my girl's like, it's Justin Bieber, babe. I was like, oh yeah, it is. Damn. LA's funny like that, so you never know who you're gonna bump into.
It's very true. I can only imagine, like, just random celebrities in passing, because probably, I'm pretty sure if you were to walk the streets right now, people would be like, dude, I just bumped into some guy that looks like Rufio.
Yeah.
And, probably.
It's kind of strange, yeah. People, like around here, people don't really, you're not gonna think you're gonna run into an actor. Like LA, you think, oh, it's probably someone here.
Yeah.
But not here, so people are really kind of like surprised walking around here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Has anybody got any more questions?
You guys have any questions? You can ask me.
Don't be
Whatever.
shy.
What's up?
If you could be any DC or Marvel character.
Marvel. Wolverine. Wolverine probably is awesome. But I actually I love X-Men anyway. I always loved the X-Men story. I always just liked Nightcrawler for some reason. Like Nightcrawler was, I don't know, his hair, I don't know, I liked him.
His hair, his blue.
I mean, he's German and stuff, but like, I could probably cosplay Nightcrawler. That'd be dope.
I think you need to do
The
that.
feet are kind of weird. I don't know if I'd be able to do the toes and
You have to
stuff.
totally do that for next con then. Just cosplay.
The Nightcrawler, because like my hair could be cool, the blue skin, kind of funky. Yes.
Have you ever considered going to San Diego Comic-Con, like cosplaying Rufio or Zuko and just see the fans' reaction?
No, it's too crazy. This is the thing when you
Yeah,
cosplay your own character, the expectation is so high. You know what I'm saying? And the cosplayers now are so good. I would do it if I got like some really good cosplayers to like make me some crazy stuff. Cause like the level, you know what I'm saying? You see like the professional cosplayers, they're like the level of what they're doing. The level of people that even aren't even professional are already super high. I cosplayed Zuko because I DJ'd this one thing, cosplay ball that I threw in LA, and I cosplayed Zuko for the thing, right? And I DJ'd this whole thing as Zuko. But I mean, I didn't make the whole costume myself. I have like assistants and stuff that help me out. And if you actually go on my YouTube site, the Dante Basco, you can see the series called Finding Honor, and it's me doing my first cosplay. It's pretty comedy because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So I'm with all these girls that work with me, right? And we're picking the costume of what we should do, and then we're like downtown LA shopping for material, and then they got me cutting stuff and gluing stuff and all kinds of craziness. And it's fun. I think it's like 6 or 8 episodes of us putting together my first cosplay, which was amazing. We had a great time. It was so fun, but it's super, super hard. But I might, if you get it done right. I've seen some amazing Zuko's and Rufio's too. And Rufio would be weird because I guess like when I was 15 when I was Rufio. It was super strange. But I have come to cons in like the Blue Spirit mask and just walked around. And I came at one and took the mask off in a panel. It was pretty crazy.
I think a good story that you should tell is the whole costuming thing when you first were doing Rufio and how like Steven Spielberg was like saw his reaction to you in the costume.
Oh yeah,
that was a really good story.
No, that was cool. That was just saying that Rufio's an iconic character and it's cool now. You know what I'm saying? Very cool now. But when you're 15, it's not that cool. I mean, it wasn't that cool. It's just you don't know if it's gonna be cool because. When you're doing a big movie, you want to be like, you want to, especially at 15, and you're like, I want to be fucking cool when this movie comes out, And Rufio obviously is a brand new character in this whole Peter Pan world, and so there was like a lot of different sketches of what Rufio could look like, One that I kind of was digging was like this dreadlock Rufio. And like I'm like a Lenny Kravitz fan, I was like, he had dreadlocks at the time. I was like, dude, that'd be cool if I had like dreadlocks in this movie. And it was fucking badass dreadlocks, Lost Boy, I don't know. But, so we were doing a bunch of different looks. And then this one look came out, where was this look, right? This Rufio look, how he is now. Like I said, it's cool now, but you gotta think about it never existing. And you're a 15-year-old actor who wants to come out looking cool. And then they start putting stuff on you, right? You start off with like, put on these red tights, and then put on like these tight ass jeans. And again, like you gotta realize, like tight jeans and stuff is cool right now. Like this is the 90s, like baggy was in, right? So some skin tight jeans on with red tights underneath. A was like, oh, this is not cool. All the holes are like, oh, this is not cool. Then they're like, put on this really tight shirt that's your belly button showing, midriff, and I'm like, dude. I think they even like made it shorter or something in the show, and I'm like, a midriff? You want me to wear midriff? I'm like, yeah. So the midriff, like now the belly button showing, and then they put on the Michael Jackson jacket. Like Mike is cool. Like I'm a big Michael Jackson fan, but like in 1991, Mike wasn't cool in 91. Like he was cool in like 85 to like 89, and then he was not cool until like 2000 again, right?
Right.
So it's like, why are you giving me this whack ass Michael Jackson jacket? Right? So they got the Michael Jackson jacket, they're cutting it up, and then they're like, now we gotta do your hair. And I'm like, all right. And they're like, a mohawk. I'm like, a mohawk? I'm like, no, 3. The trap. I'm like, what? 3? They're like, yeah, like, wouldn't it be cool, like 3? And I'm like, you're just like, yeah. Then, you get to the point where, like, we're doing it, and I'm like, and they put a loincloth on. I got a loincloth, too. Yeah, there's, like, all kinds of stuff going on in the costume, and I'm like, you get to the point where you're like, I want to trick Dante because this may not be, he has to prove it. It's like all these other sketches you saw. We're gonna try on a bunch of this stuff before we figure out what Rufio is gonna look like. You know what I'm saying? And then I walk onto the set and I'm all tri-hawked out in this whole Michael Jackson thing. And then you walk around the corner and like Steven's standing by the Never tree, and I'm like, like Steven. And then Steven turns around all slow, like, yes. I was like, yes, come here, turn around. I'm like, yeah. It was crazy. So, it just took me a while to go, well, that's what I'm gonna look like. My belly button's gonna be out for this whole movie. And it's so funny, like with the whole crew. Recently, like with Robin's passing and everything, there's a lot of people want us to do a Lost Boys reunion, and I passed on a bunch of stuff. I just said a few things for like Entertainment Tonight, and I did some stuff, but I just kind of weird people. The doctors are calling me up, or like Good Morning America, like come in and talk about Robin's passing. It's like really not the time or place to do that kind of stuff for me. TMZ called up, like, let's do a reunion with Lost Boys. And I was like, the guys at TMZ have been really nice to me always, but it's like, it just doesn't feel right. But like now, I think we're gonna do it for like a charity, which feels good. And some guys have been reaching out, the guys that did like the Little Rascals reunion, and they did a bunch of other reunions, so we're gonna do something. It looks like it, but it's funny, the funny part is like, it's 20 plus years ago, I'm the leader of the Lost Boys, right? So a lot of the other fellas are like hitting me up, Facebook or emailing me, and they're like, man, you're the leader, man. Like, let us know what you want to do. But I'm like, what's funny is like they still see me as the leader. I am the leader of the Lost, but it's like 20 years ago, we're like all grown ass men now. But as kids, I was probably the oldest one of all the like main Lost Boys, and they're like, Roof, man, you're still a leader. I'm like, we're still like a cool gang. Yeah.
We'll have to follow him and make sure we pay attention to when that's coming, because that's freaking great.
Question?
Any other questions?
Questions? Yes.
What was the setup look like? The movie looks like this pool fantasy skate park, so was it really like skateboards? And was it stunt doubles, or do you skate?
Yeah,
How did that work? Were there penguins?
Yeah, there were penguins for a day. The thing about it, I didn't get a penny, but that's a different time for different filmmaking, and I hope it goes back to some of that where there's no blue screen, there's no CGI. It was like everything you saw in that movie was built. There was like a big ass pirate ship in one of the stages. There's a big Lost Boys tree. It was all real. It was like all tangible. It was all there. It was pretty amazing. I don't know. It was just crazy. It was like working at Disneyland. Like you're working at Disneyland. And you're like one of the characters, like for real, and they're shooting you, doing stuff. So that whole thing was pretty wild, I hope it goes back. I know the new Star Wars is getting shot. They just feel like all that green screen stuff didn't always work. It wasn't as, when you act, it's better to act when it's hard to act when it's like say this is all green screen, and they're like, all right, well, imagine the guy, this little tennis ball is, somebody, a robot that you're gonna kill, and you're like in this different land. It doesn't feel good. You know what I'm saying? When you're on a set, and it's like you're on a pirate ship fighting pirates, and like there's 100 pirates, and you're on a real pirate ship. It's crazy. Like literally, if you think about the pirate ship in Hook, where it's like those bones, and he's like there, and it's like in front. It's right there. It's all right there. Or the back. You go into that little place where Captain Hook, and Bob Hoskins, Schmieder on there in his little cavern. You walk in there and it's there. Like it's like.
That wasn't a separate setter?
No, it's there. It's crazy. It's like literally, and it's in water. Which is weird. Like, why did you build it in water? I don't know why they did that.
Why did you put a ship in water?
No, but like, it's a big ass ship in a soundstage, and they're like, we're gonna put it in water. I don't know what they were thinking. It was cool. It was just, as a kid, my memory of it is like pretty much like working at Disneyland, that kind of thing.
Nice.
And as far as the skateboarding, I could skateboard like a little bit, like I'm a decent skater. But there was a lot of pro skaters on the set. Frankie Hill, Adam McNatt, Pal Peralta like sponsored. Stacy Peralta was our skateboard instructor. And so if you guys are, I don't know if you guys know skating, but so Pal Peralta is like the biggest skateboarding company. Stacy Peralta is like one of the biggest skaters in the world, right? Which his company got Tony Hawk, and those guys come from Pal Peralta. And so this dude Stacy Peralta was teaching me how to ollie. Crazy.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's fun. Questions? What y'all want to talk about? What's up?
Do you have a comic collection, or did you read comics when you were younger and
I
still
did
have
read
them?
comics. I haven't collected a lot in years. I mean, the most recent thing I collected, I'm a big Thundercats fan, so when they released the new Thundercats comic books, I collected the first few series of it. So I have like some complete series of Thundercats stuff. But growing up, I like I said, I love the X-Men. I love Marvel stuff. My brother's like a big Spider-Man fan. I like the X-Men just because I like the whole idea. Being ethnic in America is like one of those things with X-Men was like the mutant thing. That always meant a lot to me as far as like, you know, people try to shun the mutants because they're different, but then you realize your differences is actually what makes you a superhero or makes you magical. And that always meant a lot to me as being like ethnic in America, because you're going, the fact that you're different, a lot of people can kind of like, you know, make it negative, but if you can make that a positive and make that really the reason why you are magical, it's cool. So that always meant a lot to me.
Dante will never not think you're magical.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Any other questions? Yes.
Did you keep any of the props from
Ooh.
Yup. The sword.
You have hands on it?
I have the pan sword on my shelf at home. I stole it. They didn't give it to me. I was like, yo, I just thought one day I was like, I'm gonna take this sword.
And they've never come asking about it?
No, because the thing is, they're props. So like, I looked in the prop thing. There was tons of them. Not tons. I don't know how many there were. There was quite a few. And you know, for most of the movie, I have the friggin' sword. So I had the sword all the time, like on my hip. I was like, I had to train every day with the sword. I played with a bunch of swords, and this. So I don't know. I was like, I think I need this sword.
I think I personally would have taken that marble shooter thing.
The marble shooter thing would be. I don't think you get off the set with the marble shooter.
Sneak that away.
The sword that I took, the sword. That's all I really got is a sword. I do have some original prints of like the original sketches of Rufio, which is awesome. I have one framed on my wall by in full armor that they did, and it's signed by the artist and everything like that. So I really love that. But yeah, really just the sword. I feel like I was at I went to a Planet Hollywood one time and they had the Tri-Hawks. Because you know, it's all my hair except for it has like the 3 Tri-Hawks. So, and those were actually made of antelope tail. It was like dyed antelope tail.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
So,
Serious.
so was that worked into a wig or was that worked into
No, it's
your
like
hair?
so it's my hair. So every morning, like they do my hair up and out, kind of like funky, and then they put the 3 things inside my hair, and you got them pinned in and stuff like that. So all the black is my hair.
Uh-huh.
Bless you. You're welcome. And all the red is dyed antelope tail. And
Antelope as in the antelope from Arizona or the antelope from Africa?
I'm not 100% sure where that one came from.
Some soft, cute, fuzzy animal.
No, it's really prickly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the tail is coarse. Here too, like Africa. Is there an antelope out here?
Yeah, pronghorn antelope.
There's an antelope in Arizona?
Yeah, their hair is actually
There's a
hollow,
lot of
that's
weird
why it's so
animals in
brittle.
Arizona, actually.
Really? I don't know if it was hollow hair. I'm not sure. I wish I would have stole those, that'd be cool. But back in those days, like this is like before internet, right, and all that kind of stuff. So there was no NDAs or anything like that, like non-disclosure agreements. Nowadays, you can't take pictures of anything. You can't release anything about any of these movies or whatever, video games, anything, right? They get super stressed out. In those days, there was like, they don't care. At lunchtime, we would run out to In-N-Out. In-N-Out Burger in LA is like our In-N-Out, like whatever. I don't know, you guys have something like that out here. It's like, you have In-N-Out?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, it's just like LA hamburger stand back in those days, right? And so we would run out to In-N-Out in full-on costume. Or like, maybe like I took off the Michael Jackson jacket, but literally, there's like pictures of me and the other Lost Boys in In-N-Out at lunch eating like double doubles. So I actually want to see those, but that's like so weird.
You need to
Like
track
they'll
down
never let
pictures.
us do stuff like that these days. Like you can't go anywhere. And those days we're just running out the lot, like hanging out, getting in and out.
You ever gonna? I know I asked you this back in the dealer's room, but you ever gonna try hop your hair?
No, you know what? Yeah. No, the thing is, when I see some Homestucks in the house, some Homestucks. So actually, Rufio comes up in Homestuck, right? And which was very cool. First, it was super weird that character, like my character Rufio's in Homestuck and he gets kissed by Hussey, and that's like super strange, but funny as hell. And then it was also funny that he can't, like, I don't know, like he must follow my Tumblr or something, because then all of a sudden, like the Rufio troll is like has all my typing quirks and stuff like that. And I think it's super funny. So actually, coming out in the video soon, hopefully it's gonna come out before Halloween. We already shot it. I do the Rufio cosplay. And it's a song I produced called Geeking Out. And it's like this dubstep song it's kind of dedicated to Homestucks. Because it goes like, I'm geeking out. I be on my Homestuck, always on my Homestuck. I'm geeking out, and I don't give a fuck. So it's this dubstep song that's the hook, and there's like this whole breakdown where it's like, like John, Jay, Rose, Dave, John. It's like super dope, right? And so this whole video is like I'm kicking it, and all these trolls start coming out in real life, and they start following me, and then all of a sudden I get attacked by these trolls, and then I turn into the Rufio troll. And then we party. That's pretty much the whole video. So that stuff that's dropping probably the next week or two before Halloween. So you'll see me on my Homestuck. I'm a Homestuck-ish. Yes, I'll cosplay. So so if you don't know the Rufio Homestuck is basically the Rufio hairdo, but with Tavros horns, like the big long horns. But then I'm all gray painted, which is cool, except for that gray paint took days to come off. I'm like scrubbing, and it's like, like just gray paint on all my clothes for the next few days.
Yeah, I think most people know the Homestuck.
It's crazy, but it should be a fun video. I hope people dig it. Questions? Yes, Homestuck.
So, Rufio, how do you feel about Canon Rufio and what he did to Damara?
I don't know if I got it that far. I don't know if I'm there yet. What do you do? It's no spoiler. You can tell me.
I don't want to tell you, it's a spoiler.
Okay, well, I'm not all the way caught up yet.
Okay.
I'm like I'm like still in my intermission at 6.
Well, when you get to that part, you think about how you feel.
I'm gonna think about, was he being cool or was he a jerk? Happens to the best of us. A little bit of a jerk. A lot of a jerk? Oh, Rufio, what? Come on.
Shame on you, Rufio.
I do blame Hussey. I'll text him, be like, dude, what's up? You're making me feel. Yes.
So do you ever read fanfics about Zuko or Rufio?